What's going on, guys? It's your boy Nistro here, and we are back with the non-budget version of Gate Guardian. I am out here in the middle of nowhere making videos on my phone for you guys. That's why EDO Pro looks so wide. It's like the wide Putin meme. So here we are with the rich boy version of Gate Guardian. As you can probably tell by now, we've upgraded a little bit. We've added souls. We've added Cartesia, we've added Grand Guignol, Lulu Lilith. This will just be showing some more combos you can do if you can afford Cartesia. The deck itself is not too different, but one thing I will say is that by adding the tier elements to the deck, we've added a level of recursion to the deck that I think is really amazing. And on top of this new fusion from Duelist Nexus, the Magnum the Reliever, he also adds a level of recursion that's just insane, because he gets to recycle either your instant fusion or any fusion spell card, on top of being able to utilize fusion spell cards from your graveyard to destroy things as well. So we can either shuffle them back and you get some pluses, or it can banish them and you can get some destructions, some interruptions on your opponent's turn. It's an amazing card, and I can't wait until Duelist Nexus where this card comes out. And it's going to be a super. So this won't be part of the, fucking expensive part of the deck. Really, the only expensive part of the deck is Cartesia and Souls. So that's why I'm calling it like non-budget kind of. But at the same time, it's like the main deck is still about the same price, minus Souls and Cartesia. It's really just if you feel like teching in Kashtira Fenrir to your side deck, or if you feel like teching in Unicorn to your side deck, you could, but you don't have to play those to make the deck work. As you can see, we've added Prey of Jirai Gumo to the main deck, and that's because I wanted something that could be useful off Souls and could also be useful during our opponent's turn, where double attack Wind and Thunder couldn't really do that, the quick play spell, because it's not useful during your opponent's turn unless you can make a Gate Guardian fusion. Jirai Gumo, regardless of what play you make, as long as you can get something into the extra monster zone, you set it under your opponent's extra monster zone column and you still get to pop a card. If you send Jirai Gumo off of Souls, you can banish the Jirai Gumo before Souls resolves, because it's a speed spell 2 engrave, and you could search any one of your names, like your Suijin, your Kazejin, and then you get the draw 2. So you get a guaranteed search of one of your names, and then you get the draw 2. So you kind of like unbrick your deck a little bit before you get the plus, which is great. And you're also going to see 3 Suijin in here. And that's because Suijin is great for the tier element combos. It fucking rocks when you can shuffle your Suijin back and another tier element when you summon Rhinoheart, and then go for Kaleidoheart right there, so that you don't need to play too many tier elements or too many other aquas. You can use what's already in your engine to your advantage. So okay, so my mic ended up busting up while I'm out here, so we're gonna just have to do this with the phone microphone. Let me show you guys some replays with this Gate Guardian non-budget deck. And first off, I want to say is that with tier elements, it's actually really amazing what you can pull off. First off, let's just start off with the basic combo, where we start with the Keeper Dragon Magic, get the instant fusion. You guys already know all this, but the reason why we're starting with Suijin here is because it's an aqua, and so this is why we put Suijin up to 3, because the fact that Suijin is an aqua and synergizes with the tier elements, making their tier elements Kaleidoheart, allows for a more versatile combo line where you could end on potentially Kaleidoheart and more interruptions. I know we put Fusion Destiny down to 1 because we don't want to brick on it. Like, we don't want it to be a we don't want to have diminishing returns from it. But at the same time, it's like, if you could make a DPE with this Kaleidoheart, it could actually be really, really significant, because you can then mill another tier element and summon out a second Dragostapelia or something of that nature, right? So now I want to show you guys what happens if you just happen to draw a tier element, right? Because tier elements are like you're going to be playing Havnus and Sheeran, but what happens if you draw them instead of being able to mill them? This combo will kind of give you a showcase as to what you can do. And I know it's kind of like top heavy with the Keeper of Dragon Magic line, and I'm completely aware of that, but like, if this is the best the deck can do, why not just go for it, you know? Why not just build the whole deck around it? So what we ended up doing here is we fusion deployment for Blazing Cartesia. And Cartesia is great, not only because you can go for Grand Guignol, and Grand Guignol could summon a body on your opponent's turn, but also because it has the ability to make this cool card called Magnum the Reliever. And Magnum the Reliever, as I was describing earlier, it has a lot of versatility as to how it can use your fusion spell and traps engrave. In your normal combo, you end up with Instant Fusion and Fusion Deployment in your graveyard, meaning you can recycle Instant Fusion and banish Fusion Deployment to pop something in the same turn, potentially, right? Well, probably not in the same turn, but you'll be able to resolve both effects without, you know, having to choose one or the other. So that's why Cartesia being able to make Magnum the Reliever is great. And now that we just use Havnus from hand, we're able to use this Ambulomades, shuffle it back, and create another fusion while recycling our best starter. So we got to create Dragostapelia, and we got to recycle the instant fusion. On a field like this, there's actually a play with Magnum the Reliever, because it pops any card on field. It can pop your own Starving Venom, and Starving Venom could clear their board. On top of that, if they try to imperm you or anything sort of like lingering effect on your Magnum the Reliever, that you could chain Cartesia and summon Grand Guignol. Grand Guignol, mill your Sangha of the Thunder. And once you mill Song of the Thunder, Suijin engrave, Song of the Thunder engraves, Kazuijin in hand, it's going to be really easy to get your Gate Guardians combined. So you're going to have a lot of steam, a lot of follow-up with this particular version of the deck. Cartesia opens up a lot of routes with the deck that I think like a non-budget build is worth playing, because Cartesia does so much for the deck. And this only comes out in Dueling Nexus, which is like less than 2 weeks away at this point by the time you guys are watching this video. So it's more than it's going to be super rare, so it's not even going to be part of the non-budget part of this deck. Even the budget plays, the budget players can potentially make this card using like a regular polymerization or something. So look at that, we are able to respond to his monster. We have about like 2 or 3 interruptions on this field. And although summoning Guardian Chimera off of Cartesia doesn't really work, because Chimera only gets its effect when it's summoned off of a spell card, it's just the fact that we're able to get more out of what we can already create with this non-budget version of the deck that makes it really good. And don't forget that Cartesia comes back during end phase. Grand Guignol can do more. I know I kind of goofed on the opponent's side. I sort of like let them play when I wasn't supposed to, but at the same time, it's like the deck's good both going first and second. As long as Keeper of Dragon Magic can fucking do its thing, like the deck's pretty solid. Has a lot of follow-up plays. So now I want to show you guys a potential combo with Magnum the Reliever. I just wanted to introduce him the right way, right? And this time, again, we bring back the Suijin, we tribute it, and we Darlingtonia Cobra, get the Fusion Deployment, get the Cartesia effect, go for Magnum, recycle the Instant Fusion Bufo, make a Guardian Chimera, and at that point, Guardian Chimera could pop off if your opponent had cards on field. Magnum the Reliever, you know, just popping stuff your opponent controls. And now we get the Instant Fusion for Grand Guignol, milling out our Sangha. You could play Malong here to potentially interrupt your opponent as well. You could definitely take something out of extra deck for that. And then we get to make Lulu while Lilith. And although Lulu while Lilith can't really do much against a DPE, if it were sent to grave, because it was destroyed, it will be able to add back the Cartesia, which means Cartesia can make more plays next turn. They could potentially fusion summon another Dragostapelia or something of that nature, you know? And now I just want to give you guys a little test hand. And this test hand's great because we open Sacred Swords, we open Shadow Ghoul, and we also hard open the Instant Fusion, which is amazing because now we don't have to use our normal summon to get the Ambulomades combo. So now we got to make the Wind and Water before summoning out our Ambulomades. And I know, you know, drawing a 1 of in a 50 card deck kind of copium, but this is just an example, just a potential hand showing you guys what I could do. Adding, going for the fusion deployment, getting Cartesia using Darntonic Cobra, go for Grand Guignol, Milsanga. Now we're using Grand Guignol and the Ambulomades, and the reason why you shouldn't be worried about using Ambulomades and Grand Guignol for fusion summon is because Ambulomades, because it's summoned by instant fusion, it has to be destroyed during end phase anyway, and Grand Guignol can banish itself from field or graveyard to resolve its effect to summon out another Despia monster. So pretty much both of them are sort of headed towards, or both of them are kind of leaving the field anyway. So why not turn these two into an extra negate with Dragostapelia, you know? And now we have 3 interruptions in our front row, two negates off of Wind and Water, 1 off of Dragostapelia, 1 Imperm, and even our Heavenly Zephyr Miradora. One of our small world lines is a potential devastating hand trap for our opponent. So there's a lot that we can do with this hand, with this board, and playing through 5 interruptions and a mini floodgate is going to be pretty hard for the opponent. Like, it doesn't matter what deck they're playing, this is going to be pretty tough to break through, even if they have, unless they have like the best board breakers, like Dark Ruler. Like, they would need like the Dark Ruler evenly mixed to play through this without having any much trouble. And I don't show what the opponent does. I kind of goofed, but I just wanted to show that you could just hard make Lulu while Lilith with your Cartesia as well. In case you add Cartesia back and you don't get Grand Guignol effect and you want something to make, you can make Lulu while Lilith. But if you want to do that, you can just put Proskinion in your extra deck, like for like a grind game, and just make something happen with that as well. Also, Mirador cannot be negated, right? It may target, but none of its effects could be negated, so you can't even negate it. So I couldn't negate it with Gate Guardians combined. So that's why I think this is an amazing hand trap. It may hard lose to a Rise Heart if they summon it with 3 materials, but if they summon a Rise Heart with only 1 material, that Rise Heart will not be able to attach materials to itself the entire time that it's on board because of Miradora. And especially if your opponent's going first, they also won't be able to attack into it. So you'll basically be able to shut down an opponent's Kashtira Rise Heart with just this 1 card. It's actually really great how this works out. So going back to the list here, I really like the way that this deck has turned out. Now you saw a lot less DPE in this combo video, and I think there is an argument for taking out the Fusion Destiny to work more towards the branded engine. I know if you wanted to put in branded fusion, this deck could go even crazier because then you'd have a way more follow-up with Lubellion, Marajade, and stuff like that. And you can, you'd still be able to play Determinants, you'd still be able to play Souls. You'd probably have to cut down on hand traps and cut down maybe on some of, you know, your Guardian names like Suijin and your Kazejin, but I still think that, like, if you wanted to play branded with this, you definitely could. But I wanted to keep it more Gate Guardian fusion combo pile rather than, you know, turn to Gate Guardian branded, you know, at this point. But there is definitely a Gate Guardian branded deck in the work. As I said, like, this is the fruits of my labor of trying to figure out what is the best way we could combo without using the branded engine. So now that we can use the branded engine, or in the next Gate Guardian video, we're going to be exploring the branded engine, exploring the potential of Quem and a whole bunch of other, you know, cool branded cards, maybe even Albion. I know branded Expulsion. I had a list, pre-ban list, that used branded Expulsion to revive your 2 Gate Guardian pieces from the banish zone. But, you know, obviously Expulsion got banned because the card's just way too fucking good. And now that can't work anymore. But that was one thing that I was planning to do. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think there's anything I missed? Would you rather see the Kashtira and the Exceed monsters in the deck? Do you think there's still an argument for more copies of Fusion Destiny, or if there's any other Fusion, you know, monsters I could take advantage of that are not branded monsters? Because again, I'm well aware of the Albaz and branded stuff. But until the next time, it's been your boy Nistro here, signing out.